Hi guys, welcome to another book review. My name is Nana, and I'm going to be reviewing The Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie.
All right, to start this off, what category or genre do you think that this fits into?
I think this book fits into realistic fiction because I can see this storyline happening in an actual school district.
So, with this book being realistic fiction, what do you think the author's purpose was?
I think the author's purpose was to show what it's like to move from one school to another for a kid through a kid's eyes.
And what did you like about the book?
I like that the author put this book into first person perspective so we can see how Arnold, the narrator, thinks.
Can you describe the setting for us?
This book takes place in a small town on an Indian reservation called Wellpinett, and it also takes place on a town outside of that reservation called Reardon.
Can you describe the main character for us?
The main character, Arnold, who also goes by Junior, which is what everybody else calls him, he's pretty. He's kind of a scrawny kid, but he's really smart and he is very witty.
So, what main changes does Arnold go through?
So, Arnold, halfway halfway through his first week of school in his Wellpinett High School, decides that he wants to go to the all-white school, which is 22 miles away from where he lives, to be able to get a better education for himself because he was using a textbook that his mom had used 22 years ago. And he had realized that all the pages were torn and tattered, and he wanted to get the most out of his education that he could.
So, are there any interesting techniques that the author uses to tell the story?
I think that other than first person perspective, the use of illustrations in the book also helps to tell part of the story.
Did reading this book change your views?
I don't really think it changed many views, but um, I could definitely sympathize with Arnold because of him moving from one school to another.
Would you persuade a friend to read this book or not to read it?
I would persuade a friend to read this book because it gives an interesting look on how moving is.
And what do you think about the ending of this book?
I think that the book wrapped up nicely, but if I did have the choice to read a prequel or sequel, I would choose a sequel and see how his sophomore year plays out.
Since you want to read about a sequel, what do you think should happen? Like, what events do you want to happen in the next book?
Um, I just like to see how his school year goes next year.
All right. Thank you for today.
Thanks.